Hello, everybody. Here is Dr. Ghulam Hussain from Department of Physiology, Government College University, Faistabad. I got my PhD from University of Strasbourg, France. Before starting my presentation, I would like to pay thanks and attributes to the organizer of this event, International Conference on Applied Zoology 2021. That's really an amazing platform that provides an opportunity to the scientists of not only the Pakistan, but the international community to share their knowledge and to share their latest work with the students, with the researcher, and with the audience. Really, that's going to help the people to learn more and more. So today I'm going to discuss my topic, and that is the peripheral nerve injury and muscle function restoration, a comparison of various extracts of the cannabis sativa. Before going into the depth of my presentation, I would like to introduce the topic. As it is known to everybody that our nervous system is the master command and control system that controls the function of nearly all other organs of the body. Particularly when we talk about the muscles, the information are obtained by using a complex network of the wire of the peripheral nervous systems, and the normal functioning of the muscle rely on the continuous supply of impulse by coming from these nerves. In case of any injury, or problem that may be due to the shotgun leg lubrication or or road accident, there is an interruption of the message or impulse from the nervous system to the muscles. And in the absence of these impulse or the signals, the muscles become functionless or their function are compromised. After an injury, there is a complex cascade of the event that starts just after an injury, and there's a process of value regeneration, clearing out the material, then sprouting, and then the establishment of the new connection. Although this process looks very simple, but this process is not very as simple as it looks. And if we summarize all these events in one figure, we can say that the process after an injury, there's a process of value regeneration, that the distal segment of the nerve is degenerated, then the clearance of the material debris, and then the sprouting of the proximal end, and then the re-establishment of the new connection, and then the functional restoration. But in nature, the process does not happen in this way, because there are many other factors and many other mechanisms that cause an hindrance toward the normal regeneration and the functional restoration. Then where we stand to treat such kind of the issue, because in Pakistan the number of road accidents are increasing day by day, and the people after such injury, they become bedridden for the whole life, and they become a function of social and economical burden, not only for their family but on the whole country. So what we do to treat such kind of the people? So here are the available strategies. For example, there are the symptomatic treatment, there are surgical approaches, supportive therapies, and medicinal approaches like gene therapy, stem cell therapy, and etc., etc. And there are some limitations associated with this treatment, because they are time-consuming, expensive, unavailable of donor, risk of immunosuppression, and 100% recovery is always a dream. So we can summarize that the medicine promoting functional restoration after such kind of the injury, they are still lacking. What can we do to overcome this issue? The medicinal plant and the bioactive compound, the biomolecule can be a source to help us in this matter. So we can say that the biomolecules or the bioactive compound, they have the health promoting effect, for example, antioxidative, anti-inflammatory, analgesic, antimicrobial, etc. So they might be helpful in accelerating peripheral nerve regeneration after an injury. And following this idea, here we follow a strategy which screen out our medicinal plant, that in this hope that any of them can help us to find out a good candidate that would really accelerate the rate of regeneration and functional restoration after an injury. To achieve this goal, and we follow this complex protocol of a work plan of a laboratory, although this is really difficult to explain everything in this short time. But interested people can contact us if they want to understand and they want to know more about this work plan. So by following this work plan, today I'm going to report the effect of various extract of cannabis sativa. This plant is well known. It's known to everybody due to its health promoting and other effects on our nervous system and on the other body organs. So based on the available data, one can speculate that the cannabis sativa can cannabis sativa can accelerate the motor function recovery after an induced mechanical insult to the peripheral nerves. To have an insight on this aspect, we use an animal model of shattered nerve injury. In this model, we try to induce the peripheral nerve injury by making a compression insert to the sciatic nerve, and after this, we follow different parameter of this parameter to assess the rate of functional restoration that are lost after an injury. These parameters include food intake, body analysis, body weight analysis, walking track analysis, grip strength, and the response of thermal and the nociceptive stimuli. And following these parameter analysis, we found the results that reports that by including the various extracts, including the anaxin and ethyl acetate, the inclusion in the food did not have an effect on the eating behavior of this animal, and then the body weight remained also unchanged, indicating the unaltered metabolic state of these animals. And at the next step, when we measure the grip strength after an injury, we could observe that the both treated animal, they have better improvement in the functional restoration as compared to the untreated animal. And at the same time, we could also observe that the latency period toward the thermal and the mechanical stimuli, it was also in decrease in the treated animal, indicating that these animals have the improve in response to these kind of the stimuli. And at the next phase, we could also see that the treated animal, they have increased antioxidant capacity, indicating that these plants have some antioxidative effect on this animal. And at the next stage, the treated animals show that reduced oxidative stress. Next, we observe that the muscle mass after treatment, that was really improved, and the rest were indicating that there was a corrected muscle atrophy after an injury. And next, we could see that there was some anti-glycemic effect of this plant, indicating that there may be some effect of this plant on the insulin-like receptor. And then the histopathology indicate that there was the surface area of the muscle fiber was also increased in the treated animal. So if we summarize all these things in our conclusion, that we can say that the cannabis sativa appears to have the potential to accelerate the functional recovery of following peripheral nerve injury, and we can say that the oxidative stress combating effect of this plant can be assumed to be the positive factor behind this speedy functional recovery. In future, we can think, and we are interested to do that, the complete characterization of this plant, and that will lead us to identify potent bioactive molecules that will the actual player behind this effect, and what is the actual mechanism that is over there to increase the functional restoration after the treatment with this plant. That will be also interesting to dissect this thing. Based on these observations, we can say that the cannabis sativa can be a potential candidate to be identified and to be investigated in detail in the future study. And thank you very much for your kind attention. If you have any question,